Hello everyone. Hello guys. I'm driving now, and I think that one of the best time for me to just talk around and do a video like this, it's when I'm driving. Also because I drive a lot every day, and yeah. So I want to do this video for a long time, and just didn't have time, just didn't have like maybe courage for starting. But I believe that me as a coach, as a fitness coach, as a nutrition coach, and yeah, as someone that have been working on this fitness world for so long time, and I think that's important to share and also to contribute for people about my experience as coach, as an athlete, and everything, right? So if you know me, you know that I've been coaching and training CrossFit for more than 10 years, and it's my life, it's what I love to do. And being an athlete also was one of my hobbies and my passion. As you know, I was an athlete, but not in the really high level. I started CrossFit pretty late, and I took some long time to reach RX level in CrossFit, and I believe that it was just too late for me to compete on the same level of the elite category. But even like this, I always try to push myself, to train hard, to follow the methodology in training and also in nutrition. I've been training a lot for the last years. In average, I was doing around 10 hours training per week. And I think that in some moments I reached a very nice level, and I was competing in a really nice performance. But of course, with a lot up and downs, and was not just funny. And during these 10 years, I also, like normal athlete, I also had injuries. I also struggled a little bit with mindset. I had moments that I just didn't want to train, and it happens with everyone. Yeah, and I also didn't live with it. My main incoming always came from coaching classes, so I had days that I had to coach like 6-7 classes in one day. So then it's quite hard to keep training with it. But even like this, I was always pushing myself and trying to enjoy the process and having fun with everything, right? What happened is that on the last 2 years, I've been training a lot, but I also get some injuries, especially on my hip and lower back. But even like this, I was still training, still working on it. It was quite funny because usually our season starts in February, March with the Open, right? And then during the Open, after the Open, we have a lot qualifiers workouts, and the competitions here in Switzerland, in Europe, they start in June, and then they go June, July till October, and November, December not that much, and then they stop a little bit and they come back again with the qualifiers in March, April, May, and always like this. And for me, it was always cool because in December and January I didn't train that much, and then January, February I started to prepare myself for the Open, and then after the Open I always did the qualifiers, and then it was always going up on my performance and getting ready for the competitions. And Yeah, and then when the competitions started, let's say June, July, August, September, I start to do it well. And on the end of the season, September, October, I was already feeling my body super tired, and every year in October, around October, I always had problems with my lower back and hip. And then I had to stop training a bit. In December came back, January came back without pain, and then February everything again. And it was fun because it happened with me on the last 3 years. The 3 years were the same, right? Starting the year well, without pain, going well, working out, competitions and everything. On the end, September, October, injury, and then on the same place, always on the hip and lower back. And then I always recovered myself, and again on the next years. And I always thought, okay, I have a problem on my lower back and hip, but I believe that's not that bad. It's something that I can recover, and then I can come back on training normally. I was always lifting a lot weight, I mean, for someone like me, I'm skinny, and I could always lift a lot weight in all the competitions. I was always top 5 in the weightlifting workouts, so I was fine with this, right? On the last year, it happened again. I hurt myself in October, and then in November and December, I was trying to recover myself. But in December, I went to a doctor, and he said, "Look, you have to stop training." I had a lot of pain on the hip, right, on the lateral here, starting on the middle of the glute, and then going by side to the abductor muscle, and on the hip. And then I went to the doctor and said, "Look, you have to stop a little bit of training, let's say 3 weeks without training and everything, and I think that's going to be okay." And then I said, all right, and I did it. I was like 2-3 weeks without training the hip. I was training arms, abs, and this kind of stuff. I went to a chiropractic guy, and he said, "Look, you have a problem on your hip. Then we're gonna work like this, like this, like that." I remember I did 3 sessions with him, and after 3 weeks I started to feel better, and then I went to work out again. And I remember that I did a workout with deadlifts. It was like 80 kilos deadlifts, and I had to do sets of 10 reps. I don't remember exactly how was the workout, but I remember that I did these deadlifts. And after the workout, my lower back was super hard, and I think, okay, I hurted myself again, but I think that was like nothing special, just a little bit, I will be better. It was on a Tuesday, and then on the next day, till Saturday, I had a bit pain on my hip, but my lower back was okay. And it was on Saturday. On Saturday evening, I went out to walk with my dog, and I was feeling pain on my hip, and I think, oh shit, I have to take a painkiller, right? And I arrived home at 11 in the evening with the dog. I took the painkiller and went to sleep. And then when I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning, my hip was screaming on pain. It was like crazy high pain, and I couldn't stay on the bed. I was on the floor. I couldn't stay on the floor. I was trying to stretch. I tried to stay in a stand position. I could be in a stand position. I tried to lie down on the floor and put my legs on the bed. It was a bit better, but the pain is like, it was like pulsing and pulsing. It was terrible. I couldn't do nothing. It was only a lot pain on my hip. And I called my uncle, and he picked up me, and he brought me to the hospital. Then I went to the hospital, and they start to give me medicine, because they wanna first find out how I was. And I was start to receive medicaments, and they put me in the hospital in the room, and I was there just They was just trying to figure out what was my problem. So then the problem was that I just couldn't stay with my body straight on the bed. It was not possible. I just had too much pain, and they gave me morphine. They gave me so many medicaments, and even like this, like that, I had a lot of pain, and I couldn't stay for like, I don't know, I couldn't stay for like 5 minutes on the same position. I didn't sleep for 25 days. I didn't sleep, you know. If I did, it was 30 minutes, and then I woke up for 2 hours, 3 hours, then I did sleep 30 minutes and woke up, you know, and it was like this for like 25 days. It was just terrible. The hospital that I was here in Switzerland, it was not one of the best, and at least for this kind of problem. And I had to wait for 3 days, but it was also because I couldn't stay straight. You know, they had to wait till that I could stay straight, and then they could do a MRI, and you know, and then after 3 days they could put me in the machine, and I could stay straight. And I can tell you, it was terrible. It was terrible. I was there for like 45 minutes in the machine, and I was controlling my body all the time, feeling pain all the time. I moved sometimes, and then they had to restart the test, and it was a super terrible experience. And after that, they find out that I had a herniated disc on my lower back, on C4, C5, I don't remember exactly which. And yeah, actually, now that everything passed, I can realize that I was probably dealing with this herniated disc for a while, you know, for like 2 years already. But I was always hurting myself and recovering, hurting and recovering, until that I arrived in a moment that was impossible to recover anymore. You know, it was on the limit, and that was what happened. The hernia was touching my nerve, and I was feeling pain on my hip, on my leg. On the next day after the crisis, after the moment I went to the hospital, I started to have a lot of pain on my shin, under my knee, on the front, under my knee, below my knee, on the front. And that actually was the worst part, this muscle, right? That is on the tibia. It was like hurting all the time, 24 hours a day. And after 5 days, they did an infiltration of cortisone in my spine, and it got a little bit better, just a little bit better, and I could go home. And there I was every day still struggling. I couldn't stay seated, I couldn't walk that much. I was feeling pain, and I started to go to physiotherapy, but the physiotherapy also didn't help. And after 1 week, I did the second infiltration, and after the second infiltration, it got much better, but I still had the same pain. I still couldn't touch the ground, for example. I still couldn't walk normally. I couldn't carry any kind of weights. I couldn't do absolutely nothing, you know. And I was every day taking a lot of medicaments, like 5 different ones, super strong ones, and I was still with pain. I was like sleeping 1 hour and waking up and staying awake for 2 hours, and sleeping 1 hour, staying awake for 2 hours every night. And it was terrible. It was a very, very hard moment. I was struggling a lot with my mind, and super upset, super dismotivated. It was very, very bad moment. And then after 2 weeks I did another infiltration with medicaments in my lower back, the third one. It helped a lot, but it was not 100%, you know, and that was the problem, because I was not expecting to have 100%, but I was expecting that I could walk normally, at least, you know, that I could at least sleep. No, I was that I could stop using medicaments all the time, painkillers and other antibiotics and other medicaments. I want to stop that, you know. I didn't want to use it forever. It was just a very bad moment, and I was still having pain. And it was in this moment that I decided to look for a second opinion. And I went to a doctor in a very, very good hospital in Switzerland, one of the best. And on the first day, on the first appointment, he asked me to walk on my toes and to walk on my heels. And I just couldn't, you know, I couldn't walk on my toes or on my heels. On my heels was even worse. And then he realized that my right side, it was completely weak. You know, if I was, for example, holding my muscles and they were shaking, I didn't have any power on my legs. I couldn't hold my body in one foot, like balance. And yeah, it was just not good at all. And I talked a lot with the doctor and said, look, you have many options. You can do like physiotherapy, chiropractic, other infiltrations, and maybe it's gonna take like 1 year, 2 years to be 100%, but you are not going to be able to work out anymore, to train anymore as you did. And the problem is that you work with it, you know, you have to coach, you have to show movements, you have to be active and everything, and you're not going to be able for a while, you know. And the other option would be to do a small operation, to do a nerve decompression. And I can tell you that in 3 months, you are going to be able to move your body, to be back on training, like slowly and easily, of course. And that you're going to be back on coaching, you're going to be able to show the movements, you are going to be able to carry your daughter, you know, to take the garbage and bring to the I don't know the name, the garbage box, the Müll in German. I don't remember the name. Oh, sorry. And yeah, to the bin. I don't know. Maybe that. Anyway, and yeah, that's gonna happen. I cannot promise you that's going to be 100%. But I can tell you that you're gonna have a better quality of life. And if you do it slowly, with physiotherapy, with correct training, I can tell you as well that probably you are going to be able to train again, to maybe lift some weights, maybe not heavy, crazy heavy, but you're going to be able to be an active person again, you know, and healthy. And yeah, that was my decision. And I decided to do the surgery. And on 6th April, we did this surgery, right? The 9th April. And again, it was again super ultra bad. The surgery was perfect. But the 1 month recovery after the surgery, it's a moment where you cannot move at all, you know. You have to stay on bed most of the time. You cannot walk that much. You cannot sit that much, and you need help for almost everything. You cannot like put your clothes. You can, but super difficult because you cannot, for 1 month, you cannot bend your spine. You cannot rotate your spine for 1 month. So then it's like this. You have to stay like this for a whole moment, and it was. Again, super difficult for my mind, super difficult moment, very sad moment, and you start to make questions, you know, okay, does it worth to pass through this? Am I going to be good again? You know, does it work? I don't know, you know, you are always like making these questions. But then I start to do the physiotherapy, I start to to be patient, to take care of myself and everything. And it starts to get better and better, right? I did physiotherapy sessions two times a week, every week. I here close to my place in a gym. It's called Halle 41, and they work with sport physiotherapy, and it was just amazing. It was very good. I did with 2 different physiotherapists, and they are super good. After the 2nd month, on the 3rd month, I restart to do some exercise, like for example lunges, glute bridges, movements for the core on the line on the floor, and start to work on myself slowly. It was like April, May, June, and July. On the 1st July, I restart training, but with very, very lightweight. But I could do like squats, burpees, and then I was working on upper body, on my core as well, and I even do some deadlifts with like 35 kilos, and now I'm slowly coming back on training and starting to feeling good. I was in total 4.5 months without training, and of course that I also didn't eat so healthy, and I gained 6 kilos after this time. I lost a lot muscles, I lost a lot power. I can see it now on the last month. Now I already completed 1 month training, and I could see that it was super hard, and I lost all my power. Now I'm rebuilding slowly, but I'm feeling super happy that I can be back on training, that I can sweat a bit, that I can run, I can carry my daughter again, I can coach and show the movements to my clients, and this is maybe the best thing of all. I don't have pain. What happened with me is that I was so long without exercise and nothing, that my muscles, especially on my hamstrings, they are short. I cannot do the same stretch that I did before. So now I'm working on it, doing stretching every day, doing yoga, and I can see that it's getting better step by step. Sometimes I have a bit pain on my muscles, on the region of the hip, of the lower back, but it's because the muscles are too weak, and then I have to rebuild strength on it, and going slowly. But I can tell that now, comparing to 4 months ago, it's like way better. It's quality of life. I can live it like normal people. I can sit and drive. I can carry anything that I need to carry at home, or this kind of stuff. So yeah, and yes, and what I can tell you is that as a CrossFit coach, as a CrossFit athlete, for me, I think that's a very bad advertisement that I had this bad injury, training CrossFit every day, and then people might think, so look, CrossFit is not good and everything, but for sure that's not the point. I can assure you, I can tell you with 100% sure that is not about it. Okay, what happened with me is doesn't mean that's gonna happen with you. Doesn't mean that's gonna happen with everybody that trains like I did. Okay, what I can tell as well is that as an athlete, I didn't listen myself as a coach, because I knew that when I had an injury, I knew that when I was pushing too much, I should stop. I knew that I should do sport massage. I knew that I had to take care of myself, that to work more on mobility, to take care, to not get hurt. I knew it. And for many moments, I was still training. I was still not listening my body. I was still not respecting my body, and this is why I hurted myself. it was because I didn't take care of myself as I should, okay, while training as a high level athlete. So that was the problem. It was not the methodology, it was not the training. The methodology of CrossFit is perfect, but you have to respect your body. You have to take care of yourself, otherwise you're gonna get hurt. It's the same playing soccer, basketball, volleyball, athleticism. It's the same. If you overtrain, if you don't take care, if you train with pain, you are going to hurt yourself. And this is what happened with me. So what I can tell you is that we have to find a balance in everything we do. We have to find the right way for it. We have to respect our body, and we have to understand our restrictions, our limits. And I learned it in the worst way, but I learned it, and now I have a chance to rebuild my body, to be healthy again, and do it in a correct way. Some people, they don't have this chance. So what I can share with you is that shit happens, right? But the most important is that everything's gonna pass. Everything's going to pass. Everything, you are going to get over it for sure if you are passed through these problems as well. And yeah, and we cannot give up. We cannot give up. We have to do what we love. We have to take care of our body. We have to learn with the mistakes, and you have to correct it and to not redo it again. And step by step, you are going to become a better human, with a strong body, with a strong mind, and you're gonna be able to have a better life, you know. And yeah, this is what happened with me, and on the end, I'm very glad that that something so bad happened to me, but on the same time, I had the chance to get over it, to recover from it, and to have to do it, to be back again, like if I have a second chance. And I'm gonna do the best that I can with this second chance, to make my body better, to have a better quality of life, to be healthier, and also to show my clients that you have to respect your body, you have to take care, and that's possible to be back, to be healthy. And that's it. So if you are still here listening till the end, I want to say you thank you for that, and say that don't stop doing sports, don't stop doing CrossFit. It's the best methodology. I don't believe that exists a better methodology for someone that wants to be healthy. And so that's it. Take care, find a good coach for you, a good gym, and enjoy the process, and take care of yourself, and I'm sure that everything is going to be fine. Thank you very much, guys, for listening, and that's it. Ciao, ciao.